So tensions are that high in New York City right now, and Passover begins this evening at sundown, and Columbia University is telling its students not to be careful, but to actually go home. And we will do virtual class at least for the next couple of days because we cannot control the riots and the anti-Jewish protest.
Repeat after me. We have Zionists. Who have entered the camp.
It's not just in New York. It's at America's top universities. Happy at Yale University, too, where Jewish students don't feel safe. And these pro-Hamas activist students have decided, let's choose Passover to make this a statement to the world and to the country that we stand with Hamas.
I don't even think it's just those colleges. Those are the ones that get attention because they are supposed to be the top, the highest level of learning you could have in the country.
Right.
But they're the ones having to get texts overnight saying, hey, guys, I think we need a reset. That's what I believe what the head of was at Columbia said. We need a reset. So everybody take the day.
One of the students, I think that was so sad that she said, one of my roommates for 3 years, it's like you've been a roommate for 3 years and they've joined the Nazi party.
That's crazy.
And they were my best friend for 3 years, and they went and joined the Nazis. I mean, think about it like that. That's some of these friendships that are breaking up at these universities.
So the movement is designed to classify Jews and supporters of Israel as oppressors. And the individuals in Palestine, for instance, the pro-Hamas individuals, they are now classified as what? Victims. And so in our American system, if you are classified as a victim, you gain political and moral power. And so at Columbia, we see individuals who are proudly supporting Hamas, yelling, Al-Qassam, you make us proud. Take another soldier out. We say justice. We say how. Burn Tel Aviv to the ground. Hamas, we love you. We support your rockets too. And so all of this has happened after October 7th, when Hamas launched an unprovoked assault on Israel. And now Israel is seen in the eyes of elites as the oppressor.
They have lost control of their campuses. So they are saying two things. We cannot protect our students. We cannot protect our faculty.
Yeah, and I think there's a concern.
If you can't protect your students or your faculty, you have to shut down as a university.
Well, if you coming out of sort of the protest movements in the last handful of years, I think there's also probably concern within the faculty of going, what is our line? Where can we go? Because you don't want to be, essentially labeled as on the wrong side of history, if you will, as a educational board. So you're going, where's our line? It was very clear for them what their line was 4 years ago, or what their line is for specific. That's fine. But when you get this one that gets a little more nuanced,
gets a little more pro-Hamas.
Yeah, a little bit more supporting terror, not just anti-police or something like that.
It calls for the death of Jews.
It becomes a bit harder to deal with. And look, there are 45 colleges right now that the U.S. Department of Education has listed as under investigation for anti-Semitism. 45. I mean, I have the list. I can't read them to you because it would take too long.
And that means that the college itself is doing nothing or is actually fostering
there's a reason to investigate. There's a reason to investigate. I mean, there are plenty on here. Like a lot of them kind of, as you'd expect, coastal elite kind of universities.
This is a particularly important moment in history. And I think the American people should respond to the vitriol and the hatred which is expanding in the world right now. So it is alarming if you look at what's going on at Yale University, at Columbia. If you look at the Death to America and Death to Israel chants in Dearborn, Michigan. And many elites are basically responding positively to these developments, which suggests that hatred of Jews has now become more and more mainstream.
What is important here is what we're seeing inside our own country, which is this should be a country where whether you're in New York or Atlanta or Nashville or Los Angeles or Kansas City or wherever you are, Chicago, that it should be safe to be Jewish in the United States of America during Passover, even if there's controversy over what is going on in Israel and the Palestinian territories. It should be safe to be Jewish here.
This didn't start this week. The truth is, we saw this at CUNY, at City University of New York, and other universities which have very large Jewish populations, but also have large Muslim populations, or just happen to have large progressive and very woke populations. This has been building and building, and now it's become street violence. And so, yes, we've been dealing with individual students, with faculty, with groups of them, advising them, guiding them, sometimes representing them in litigation. We're working on policy across the board. We are, in fact, fighting every single day because this has become a global war against Jews, and the biggest population of Jews outside Israel is America.
This is the United States of America where this is happening. We are not reporting about Iran saying, there's these protests about killing Jews. This is New York. This is Harvard. This is Boston. This is in Cambridge. I mean, this is, again, the United States of America. This is our school saying, we can't keep you safe, and it's Passover these next couple of days, so just go and have virtual school because we've got to have a reset on campus.
People are showing images now of what it looked like in Hitler's Nazi Germany in the late 30s, where you'd see students wearing Nazi armbands, wearing swastikas, and doing literally the exact same things to Jewish students on campus. Now they're wearing keffiyehs, which is, of course, the Arab-Palestinian symbol for terror and violence. It's not a religious garb, which people claim. It's not religious. It is actually a political statement, and it's a statement of terror, statement of genocide against the Jews. And it's ubiquitous now, and it is not just like what we saw in Germany. I mean, the truth is, I come from a Holocaust survivor family. I know, Jordan, your family also comes from that part of the world. And the fact is, we are seeing what's happening now, and I can say it is not as bad. It looks like it's worse because we have the Holocaust in the rearview mirror. We know exactly what that leads to, and yet more and more this is growing in popularity around the world. And so unless America steps up, and your caller was right, why aren't people doing something? The mayor of New York decries it, says it's terrible, but he can't send in the NYPD because Columbia is a private university campus. That's outrageous. That's outrageous. So instead they're saying, don't go to campus. Listen, when Biden was running, because of the mainstreaming of anti-Semitism in Democratic politics, one of his Jewish advisors actually put out the word, maybe Jews in America should stop wearing their yarmulkes or their Jewish stars. That's nuts. That's not what America's supposed to be.
This is what's happening in Passover. The first day of Passover, and Columbia University has to go virtual because they can't get their university under control because the hatred of Jews on campus, and they're worried about more Jews being physically and violently injured, not just hearing bad things, but literally being injured and someone even getting killed.